When you hear things like 5-litre V8, 283 kilowatts, 515 newton meters, you probably think of something low and fast and expensive, not something that's 1.8 tons and is over 5 meters long. But that's exactly what the Jag XJ is. Mind you, it's also pretty low and quite fast and rather expensive. It is a thing of beauty, this big cat. Designed by the same guy who created Aston Martin's latest collection, the XJ carries its bulk supremely well, thanks to a few minimalist elements and some interesting lines. If anything, the wheels on our test car are a little on the small side, but there are bigger options. LED lighting, chrome details and a blacked out C-pillar all help give this car that little bit of extra presence. When you're competing against the likes of the S-Class and the 7 Series, you can't rely on size alone. But the XJ stands out from every angle, especially from the front, where the bonnet line dips below the radiator grille. In terms of looks, it doesn't just beat the others into submission, it absolutely destroys them. That's almost a good enough reason in itself to own one of these over the Merc, BM, Audi or even the Maserati Quattroporte. But of course, when you're spending 1.1 million rand on a car, you do want something else besides a looker. Your engine choices include a 3-litre V6 as well as 2 supercharged 5-litre V8s. Our test car sits in the middle of the lineup. It's a naturally aspirated 5-litre V8, 283 kilowatts, 515 newton meters, 0 to 100 time of 5.7 seconds, and onto a top speed of 250 kilometers an hour. Jaguar says this XJ will require only 11.4 litres per 100 Ks, and our test car didn't drain its fuel tank nearly as fast as I'd anticipated, even though we weren't too scared to see what it could do. But this engine isn't about the brute force. Yes, you'll feel the acceleration, and it does get up to some serious speed, but it doesn't drain the blood from your face while doing it. There's a firm but smooth shove and a nice low burble from the exhaust pipes telling you, yes sir, you are important and you do have as much power as you like. And when you need to slow down in a hurry, the Jag does it seemingly without effort. It doesn't so much shed the speed as gently shrug it off, leaving things cool and under control. This isn't a driver's kind of car, it simply wafts along as quickly or as gently as you like. Even changing the driving modes doesn't seem to make a difference. Push this button in the center console and the dials all turn red, the seatbelt tightens, and the 6-speed gearbox drops itself into paddle mode. But nothing really feels that different. Okay, there's a bit more power on tap and the gear changes are a bit quicker, but the steering stays as light as a polystyrene chip and the suspension stays its normal, compliant self. But you know what? It doesn't matter one bit, because the XJ is satisfying to drive in normal mode, whether you're winding your way through traffic or enjoying it to the full on a long-distance tour. This car delivers driving enjoyment not because it's big or powerful or exclusive or fantastic looking, but because it always feels right. Yes, having an interior as good as this one does help. And again, not just because of the sum of its parts. It has got top technology like the TFT screen for the dials and the rotary controller, but it's also got traditional wood grain and leather. But it's the way it wraps around you, lights up in a blue cocoon at night. It all draws you in and makes you feel involved right from the start. 1.1 million rand buys you a very nice cabin. Besides the design and the finishes, the options list has everything your 24-karat gold heart could want, including that most luxurious of things for a South African summer, ventilated seats. The mix of chrome and gloss black sparkles in the sunlight, everything falls to hand perfectly. You can plug in your iPod and play your DVDs, and like the drive, it always feels just right. I know, it sounds perfect. But it's not. This car's got 7,500 Ks on the clock and there are some very evident build quality issues. There are various noises from various parts of the car at different times. This center console lid doesn't really pop up the way it should, and this driver's side window has that irritating habit of winding itself halfway up and then stopping and then going all the way back down again. Yes, the British can design cars, but they don't build them as well as the Germans. And yet, you can forgive this car those shortcomings. Jaguar like to compare themselves to cats, and the XJ is like that cat that scratches your furniture or brings you a dismembered rodent as a present. Yes, it's irritating every now and then, but you can't help but think it's the best pet in the world. especially when you look at the other pets on the market. Mercedes-Benz S-Class is all dominating, but it's a bit soulless. BMW 7 Series is a very good drive, but it's almost too precise. And Audi's A8 is a very nice piece of design, but in this competition, it's a bit of a wallflower. The Jaguar XJ has more presence than all of them and delivers a great drive in a package that just doesn't overcompensate for anything. A strong V8 always promises decent performance, and the Jag's unit is no different. It's quick off the mark and effortless when cruising. Claimed fuel consumption is good too. At more than R1,000,000, the XJ will never sell in big volumes, but it offers enjoyable motoring in a comfortable full house package, even though it's not as quick as the stats suggest.